Hi, everybody. Casey Casperson again, the career improviser. Wanted to share with you some of the more specific, powerful tools of Eventbrite. So, if you've seen part one, that's just how to list an event and how to do it successfully. There's a couple of pitfalls that you could fall into. But the really powerful thing about Eventbrite is how much it leverages partners to help you with your business. And the one that we're going to cover today is SurveyMonkey. Now, many of you may have already heard about SurveyMonkey and what they do, and you may very well have a SurveyMonkey account. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about how to connect to your SurveyMonkey account, how to create a survey directly through Eventbrite, and then how to leverage that and send that out to your attendees before, during, or after your event. So let's get started. You can see right here on the screen, we're in an event that has not happened yet, which is just fine. So as you can see, I've got to do a little bit more promoting for this show that's coming up on Saturday. And if you scroll all the way down, you'll see an area of extensions. And what's really important for you to understand is if you are not the owner of your Eventbrite account, in other words, if you're an authorized user, even if you have full administrative access, you will not see this column that pops up down here. And you'll see that there's a whole different number of extensions. The one that we're going to click on is SurveyMonkey. And every single extension that Eventbrite has is a very uniform look to it. I really like that. So because I'm already connected to, well, I guess I'm not connected to SurveyMonkey according to this. So I would put in my username, remembers my password, and I pop in there. So I'm signed in. Now, one of the things that's really cool about SurveyMonkey is when you're in any event that is just completed, you can go in and see this screen once you're logged in. Or if it hasn't completed, you can do the survey ahead of time. There's a number of different reasons that you might want to survey your guests. And in my case, as an improviser, there isn't really anything that maybe I would survey people in advance for, maybe input, something along those lines. Now that I'm thinking about it, it's not a bad idea, but I digress. I do it to see if they like the show, and I try to send it out the day after a show occurs. And the great part about using Eventbrite is I can just go to eventbrite.com from my mobile phone or from my iPad or from my computer. I can do it from anywhere and send this out, and it's relatively easy. So what I currently do, I use an existing survey, and you'll see that I have a bunch of different surveys that I have made in the past. Okay. The one that I use is I just use the 2017 show survey. What it's doing is it's adding all responses from the survey to one central place. And it's important to me because I don't get that many surveys per show or per event. So generally we have somewhere between 40 to 60 attendees at a show, which means generally about 20 to 30 actual transactions have occurred, which means that there's about a 6 to 10% response rate, if I'm lucky, from an email that goes out looking for information. So I don't need a new survey and a new sample set of information for every single event. It creates quite an issue for me. Okay, so I can use this existing survey, this 2017 show survey, and it'll just keep adding to that. Now, let's say I wanted to copy that survey. So let's say I really liked the 2017 show survey, but I wanted to start another survey. I could simply grab the 2017 show survey. It would make a copy of that and create its own sample set. Or I can create a new survey. And we're going to talk about this one a little bit here because this is the one that you're probably going to get into or look at right away. There's a couple of other survey options. So let's say there's the standard one, and you can always click preview to see what that survey looks like. What questions are you going to be asking your guests? So how likely is it that you'd recommend this event to a friend or a colleague? How would you rate the event? What did you like about it? What did you dislike about it? How organized was it? How friendly were we? So a pretty standard format. And to say that my 2017 format doesn't fall right in line with that, or pretty close to it, you'll see it's relatively the same. So you can take a look at professional, entertainment, endurance, whatever those are. So there are these great templates that are already in place. You can click preview on any of those and move forward. So on this one, we're looking at the 2017 show survey. You'll notice that the preview button is gone at this point because you have to be inside of SurveyMonkey to kind of build that survey. So we're going to do that now. We are going to create a new survey. But before we can do that, we have to select our audience. So in this case, it's just 2 attendees at this point. And so to send the email, you can customize it before it sends, but I'm guessing it'll launch me into SurveyMonkey at this point, which it is. So I'm creating a survey in SurveyMonkey. Now, here's the deal. You'll notice up here that I'm already logged in. Okay, so you'll need to set up a SurveyMonkey account. If you haven't done so already, it's free. Now, if you want to send out more surveys or collect more information, I pay $26 a month, and it's well worth it because of the reporting and some of the upgraded features that I receive with it. But it's totally free if you want it to be free. And you can see here that it's giving me next steps. It's only going out to 1 attendee so far. So add questions to your new survey. So that's the next step, right? So I click continue. And I get into building this survey, okay? So the nice part is I can go into this like question bank, and it's already labeled it, event, Sick Puppies Comedy Show Improv on 9/2/2017. So I know that when I go into my reports that it's right there, and I can take a look at it, all right? So we're gonna build this relatively quickly. But Monkey, they actually have a whole question bank over here of recommended questions, previously used questions. So let's look at what one of the recommended questions would be in a survey like this. How likely is it that you would recommend this to a friend or a colleague? So let me just start fresh here. So I add that. Great. You'll notice that that pops up over here. Overall, how would you rate the event? And you can see there's already a drop down that you could customize what that event is, but it's okay. We can click and add that over there. Do you have any other questions or concerns? Great. We add that over here as well. And it's even showing you like where you would want that to be. So you could click one of these hashtags and see service feedback or post-event feedback. So it's just showing you only feedback for these types of things, right? So, and how likely are you to attend a similar event in the future? Great. So we add that, and you can see that we have 4 questions. We add those. It's adding those questions as we speak. Okay. And now you see them right here in the format. Okay. Now, SurveyMonkey has a really robust engine to it as well. Algorithms, testing, the whole 9 yards. To tell you that I get into that stuff, I really don't. I click on the next button here. Okay. And then this is where we're going to get our email invitation. Okay. So this is where we're going to be able to see who's responded, who the recipients are. So we already know that we have a recipient that's here, right? So that got pulled in from Eventbrite. We didn't have to add that. Eventbrite automatically had that. And then we have options. So the survey is open. And then here's the message history. I can go to resume this message. So click on the HTML template, and now you can see we're conducting the survey and your input would be appreciated. Click the button below to start the survey. Thank you for your participation. That's what I send out to all of my customers from there as far as the template goes. In this case, I would hit the next button. So right now I'm clicking, I would click save, and then I would click next to send it at that point, and then come back to the SurveyMonkey and take a look at the responses from there. I would recommend downloading the SurveyMonkey application. On the SurveyMonkey application, you can see the responses that you get right away, and then be able to see the responses from there. But the nice part is, if we come back here, and I was to refresh this, moving my head over here again, if I was to refresh this, that survey that I just created can now be a template. If you notice it right here, this is a template now that I could send out in the future. So I could copy this existing survey and send it out. So I never have to make this template ever again, which is what my 2017 show survey is. And that's what I send after every show. So now that you can see that everything can be done through Eventbrite, you can see that this is now just a template that you can use where people can add to an existing survey, or you can copy to an existing survey, or you can create a new survey after every event. It just depends on how many shows or events that you are putting on. But they can continue to be piled on, and then you can evaluate them on the other side. So join us for the next SurveyMonkey video right after this one, where we're going to get into actually leveraging the SurveyMonkey survey so that you can have better social media, so that you can have better reviews and hopefully get more customers based off of your reviews. So thank you so much. This is Casey Casperson with the Career Improviser. Thanks for sticking with me and watching this video. I hope it was helpful. Leave comments below if anything didn't make sense, and I'll try to correct it or answer your questions. Thank you so much.